What's up, everybody? It's Glenn, the movie guru. I am here bringing you our next review of The Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 7, called Dead Weight. Alright, guys, I just finished watching the episode Dead Weight of The Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 7. And once again, spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, do not watch my video and come back later and we'll talk. Anyway, with that being said, let's start off with he's back. That's right. The Governor 2.0. He is like um, full on crazy. I'm going to take care of everybody. You know, uh, he uh, he started off like following Martinez and then just 380 went and killed off half the people. Um, with that being said, Martinez, he uh, sadly didn't make it through the episode, which you kind of saw it coming from like just him talking about the old days and how he had to put Shumpet down, um, and then out of nowhere, club to the head, dragged, thrown into a pit. Oh well, sorry. I liked him, but not that much. Um, I have to say though, from last week's episode to this week's episode, I was actually feeling bad for the governor uh, in last week's episode because he was down and out and all this stuff. But now, I don't. He's a prick, pretty much. Um, when he ended up killing just an innocent guy, and just oh well, there you go. Um, he just was like, I don't care. I'm back. And now I hope Rick kicks his ass. Um, all right, so let's see. Checking my notes for a second. Uh, there were a couple dead bodies strolled throughout the whole episode. Well, for the first 20 minutes or so. And that was weird. I didn't know where they were heading with that. It looked like it was some guy just killing the people and cutting their heads off for whatever reason. I think that had more of a reflection. Brian thought, or the governor thought, it was all about him, being a liar and a murderer. Um, I wouldn't say rapist just because we don't know if he raped anybody. Um, it being AMC, they wouldn't go that in depth to that sort of thing. But I think Brian seeing that, was kind of like getting called out on who he was, and that I think had something to do with him turning back into who he was, or is. And then there were some more survivors that made it through, that weren't part of Martinez and the governor's group, but then they got killed. And so that's interesting. That makes it look seems like there's somebody else or some other group that is not really like they'll kill just to get what they need. And so Brian or the governor, I call him Brian now because hey, that's who he's been portraying. So the governor uh, is looking at it like we have to kill or be killed. So, will they probably continue on who these people are? Maybe. I would like to see, um, just a worse person than the governor come in and just kind of like, take over, maybe kill him. But, I mean, reality is it's going to be come down to Rick's prison and the governor, and then Rick will probably run into this other group. I mean, that's probably how they're going to play it out, which, That's what's going to happen. Let's see. Martinez, like I said before, he didn't make it through the episode. He ended up getting killed, and you know, happens. So let's see what else. They have a tank. As soon as I saw that in the opening thing, I was like, "Oh boy, that's not going to bode well for Rick." And then in the preview for the following week, they showed the governor on the tank at the prison gates, and there was a standoff. So, yeah, I think because next episode is the mid-season finale, and then it goes off for 2 months, and then we'll be like, why, why? Yeah, he's going to drive the tank through the prison gates. I can tell you right now, and there's going to be a lot of casualties. And I know some of what happened in the comic book. They're probably going to follow that verbatim. Um, but if that's the case, then most likely, I'd say probably two or three of Rick's group will die, and some of the new group will also die, and there's a good chance the governor might be one of them. Um, he might not even make it out of that episode because I'm betting the girlfriend will see this and see what kind of a crazy fool he is and just end up killing him, which wouldn't surprise me in the least because I mean, if I was her and I saw her all this stuff, I would do the same thing, you know. And she doesn't really have that much invested into him. Yeah, he's protected her. Yes, he's protected her daughter. Uh, but I mean, crazy's crazy, you know. Now, my predictions for who will probably be dying in next week's episode. Okay, so the governor is a definite maybe, um, unless they draw it out till the end of the season, which I hope they don't. I hope they start moving on, but this will probably be the good reason to get them out of the prison and continue on to elsewhere. Um, so the governor is a possibility. Um, in the comics, Tyrese dies, but I mean, he's still new, so he might survive. I'm hoping Herschel will not. I like Herschel, and I hope he makes it through. Um, so, with that being said, I'm thinking Sasha's gonna die. Most likely, I mean, she's gonna survive the sickness and get killed. She'll be one of the casualties, and a bunch of the people from the old Woodbury will probably not make it out. Um, and if I had to guess, I would say I'm leaning towards either Maggie or oh, that's a tough one. Maggie. I don't know if Beth would die. I mean, she's been taking care of Judith, and I don't think they'd kill off a baby. I mean, they almost had the little girl in tonight's episode get bit, and that's you know that was close. I thought she was a goner. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably gonna be Maggie, just because the whole Glenn taking picture of her a few episodes back before the whole sickness started. That would probably be um, a foreshadowing of what's to come. So I don't think she's gonna make it through the season. So tell me what you guys think. If you think I'm on off a little bit or whatever, just let me know what you think in the comments. And with that being said, all in all, I'd say this episode was probably a 4 out of 5 spare rib. Because I mean, it was a hell of a lot better than last week's episode. Um, Not as good as the week before that, but you know, yeah, it was a solid episode, and now I'm just hoping that Rick kicks his ass, and just the old governor's back, and the guy from last week's episode gone. Um, but we'll see what happens, and hopefully, next week's episode I'll probably be screaming my head off, and yeah, it'll be an interesting one. So with that, thank you for checking out my page. And if you like me, please subscribe. And I will talk to you guys soon. And we'll see you next week. All right. Laters.